What if the worlds of Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat collided, and your favorite fighters actually faced off? You won't believe what would happen next. Hello Internet, welcome to Game Theory. Today, we're diving into the ultimate fighting game rivalry, Street Fighter versus Mortal Kombat. What if these two legendary universes collided? Both are kings of the genre, each with unique styles, powers, and philosophies. So who would win in the fight of the century? Let's find out. To understand this crossover, we need to look back at where it all began. Street Fighter wasn't just a game, it was a phenomenon. It created the blueprint for every fighting game that followed. The story was simple, but effective. The world's greatest martial artists gather for the World Warrior Tournament. Each character had a unique backstory and a distinct fighting style inspired by real-world martial arts. From the disciplined karate of Ryu to the powerful wrestling of Zangief, the game was a celebration of global fighting techniques. The special moves, like the iconic Hadouken, were difficult to master, but incredibly satisfying to pull off. It was a game of honor, skill, and the pursuit of becoming the best. Then, Mortal Kombat entered the arena and changed the rules.
WTF.
It wasn't about a friendly tournament. It was a desperate battle to save our world from being absorbed by a demonic realm called Outworld. The characters weren't just martial artists, they were gods, sorcerers, cyborgs, and movie stars.
Does Jax eat snacks by the tracks?
The developers used digitized actors, which gave the game a shockingly realistic look for its time. And of course, there were the fatalities. These secret finishing moves allowed players to defeat their opponents in gruesome, over-the-top ways. Mortal Kombat was a rebellion. It was loud, violent, and it created a level of controversy that gaming had never seen before, leading directly to the creation of the ESRB rating system. The differences are baked into their DNA. Street Fighter's power system is based on ki, an internal spiritual energy. Characters like Ryu and Ken channel this energy to create fireballs and perform dragon punches. It's a more grounded, almost spiritual form of power. It can be trained and perfected. Mortal Kombat, however, deals in magic, souls, and interdimensional energy. Characters like Shang Tsung steal souls to maintain their youth, while Sub-Zero is descended from a race of cryomancers who can manipulate ice itself. It's a world where ancient gods can fight alongside special forces soldiers. One is about mastering the self, the other is about mastering the supernatural. This fundamental difference is why the crossover is so fascinating. The Street Fighter cast represents the peak of human potential and discipline. They are warriors who have honed their bodies and minds into living weapons through years of relentless training. The Mortal Kombat roster, on the other hand, represents forces beyond human understanding. They wield magic, command the elements, and serve ancient cosmic beings. So the real question isn't just about who punches harder. It's a classic battle of science fiction versus fantasy, of disciplined martial arts versus chaotic, untamed magic. It's a fight to decide which source of power is truly the strongest in the universe. When Shang Tsung and M. Bison join forces, their worlds merge for the ultimate tournament. Champions from Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter face off in arenas blending both universes. Chun-Li battles Baraka, speed versus savagery. Guile stands against Goro, military precision against monstrous power. Even villains clash, M. Bison versus Quan Chi, in a battle of dark minds and power. Now, let's step out of the arena and into the real world. What would actually happen if Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat tried to cross over? On one side, you have Capcom's Street Fighter, an iconic franchise built on disciplined martial arts, colorful characters, and a global competitive scene. Its legacy is rooted in skill-based gameplay and a PG-13 approach that appeals to a wide audience. On the other, Mortal Kombat from NetherRealm Studios, famous for its brutal violence, supernatural lore, and M-rated content. Its signature fatalities and darker tone have made it a legend, but also a lightning rod for controversy. So, what stands in the way of a true crossover? First, there's the issue of licensing. Capcom and Warner Brothers own the rights to their respective franchises, and both are fiercely protective of their brands. Negotiating a deal that satisfies both companies, financially and creatively, would be a massive challenge. Then, there's the creative dilemma. How do you blend Street Fighter's technical, combo-driven gameplay with Mortal Kombat's slower, cinematic style and graphic violence? Would the game be rated T or M? Would fatalities be allowed for Street Fighter characters? These questions are tough to answer. And let's not forget the fan bases. Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat fans are passionate, but their expectations are very different. Some want pure martial arts action, others crave over-the-top violence. Pleasing both would be nearly impossible. Even if a crossover happened, it would risk alienating core fans from both sides. Developers would have to make tough choices about which mechanics and aesthetics to prioritize. The result could be a game that feels like a compromise rather than a true celebration of both series. There's also the business side. Both companies would want to control the narrative, the profits, and the future of their characters. In the end, the legal, creative, and financial hurdles are enormous. That's why, despite years of fan speculation and wishful thinking, a true Street Fighter versus Mortal Kombat crossover remains a fantasy. Sure, we've seen guest characters cross over into other games, but a full-scale collaboration is another story. The closest we get are fan mods, crossover comics, and endless debates online. But maybe that's for the best. The rivalry, the speculation, and the what-ifs keep both franchises alive and thriving in the hearts of fans. Sometimes, the dream of a crossover is more powerful than the reality could ever be. It inspires creativity, fan art, and endless discussion. And who knows, maybe one day the industry will surprise us. Until then, we can celebrate what makes each series unique. The disciplined martial arts and energy of Street Fighter, and the dark, supernatural spectacle of Mortal Kombat. Both have earned their place in gaming history, side by side, even if not in the same game. The possibilities for the future are endless, even if the crossover remains a dream. And that's the real story behind the ultimate fighting game crossover. Which series do you think has had the bigger impact on gaming culture? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.